Well, good. I started to say good morning. Good evening, everyone. And had to get that subscribe in there. You all saw that, didn't you? You need to do that. But anyway, yeah,
Yeah.
and I want to thank the people who have subscribed so far. You know, we're getting up there. We're moving. So just keep on telling your friends and subscribe. And even if you subscribe, each time you watch a show, make sure you hit the like button. You don't you do the subscription once and hit the like button every time you watch. So that doesn't happen all the time. You have every time you watch, you have to hit that. But welcome everybody. Welcome to our take on it featuring Slim and Shona. And hello, Shona. How you doing?
Hey, James, how are you today?
I'm doing great. And of course, Shona is in Georgia, is in GA, and I'm in VA. So we don't see each other all the time, but we talk during the week sometimes or communicate. And so we have to sort of catch up what's going on in our respective states.
Yes, we
And,
do.
and she, and we'll do that from time to time. But first thing, and tell us, we have a guest that's coming on later, a cancer survivor. We're still dealing with that.
Oh,
So tell us
so
who that.
excited to hear her story. I'm
Yeah,
excited.
you want to. I guess you'll wait until she comes on, and then you can
Yes,
introduce her.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I think I put in the title, hot topics, and it's just so much going on. But before in our pre-conversation, we talked about something, and I want to get your take on it, Shona.
Okay.
When we were in school and everybody, I don't know if they still do the word problems, but word problems used to drive me crazy because, for one thing, the word problems, it would be like a paragraph long, and half the information in there had nothing to do. We had to find the equation in order to solve the problem, the math problem. But you
Mm-hmm.
had to read through and figure out what that paragraph meant. It would be something like a train traveling at 60 miles an hour headed to Chicago at 3:35. You know, and it went around Chesapeake to get there. It throws all that crazy stuff in there, and you be trying to figure out what. And let's see, how can I put Chesapeake in the equation? Chesapeake has nothing to do with it. Just to throw you off. So you had to be able to figure out what was important in that paragraph in order for you to put together an equation to solve the problem. And some of them were pretty lengthy.
Yes,
And,
yes.
and they had a lot of stuff in there that had nothing to do with, but you were trying, and especially if it had numbers, you said, well, this has to be a part of it. And a lot of times it had nothing to do with, you know, you had to be almost an engineer to figure out if a train was going 60 miles an hour. Well, you could figure that out. How long would it take? And you're going 300 miles. You could figure that out. But some of the things you had to be an engineer and NASA to figure out. What they were talking about. But how did you handle those word problems? And were you good at math?
Um, I was always I was always good at math. Always hated math, but I was good at math. There were let me explain that.
Yeah,
Like
explain
let,
that
let's
because
take
I,
let's
I was
take
just getting ready to look it up. What you were talking
let's
about. I
take
was over here trying.
algebra. That's a hard one. To me,
Yeah,
algebra 2 should have come before algebra 1, uh, because it's just more complex. Algebra 1 is more complex. Okay, so
yeah,
I was
because it's the
good at
beginning.
algebra. One thing that you have to do in those types of classes is always be consistent in the lessons. If you miss lessons, then you're going to you're going to suffer. Okay? And the reason I'm saying this is because almost faithfully every year I would get the flu or some kind of illness where I would be out for at least a week. I made, actually, this was geometry. I made an A 1 6 weeks, and the next 6 weeks I got an F.
A what? A
That's right.
flag?
furious. They were furious. But I had
You,
been sick, and if you don't have
you
any
couldn't change
way,
that F to a A. You couldn't.
no, I didn't roll like that, James.
Oh, okay, okay.
Is that what you're suggesting you would do?
Well, I tried it once. You heard me say once. You don't bring home a square A. You try to draw that line, make a F, and it's like a square A, and they saw right through that. But
I think with math, especially with word problems, as you have mentioned, um, and I just thought of this. A lot may have to do with your level of being able to focus, because you have to focus on every detail of the word problem
mhm.
to filter it into the equation that you're creating. And I don't think a lot of guys have focus when they're teenagers. That's just my
Not
theory.
on math. You focus, but not on math.
Exactly. Their mind is somewhere else. I did grow up with three brothers.
Yeah, you should know. Then you should know.
Yes, I know. But I always fared really high on standardized tests. I don't know if they still give standardized tests, but in the
Ye-
math section, I would always make high scores, but I always hated math.
Yeah, I mean, I struggled through that, especially when you have one of those teachers that love to have the word problems. You get a math test, and right at the end, some of them would take it easy on you, have one word problem, but that one problem was worth 50% of your grade.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Oh boy! And so and sometimes I read the paragraph and I just turn my paper in. You know,
Wow.
I said, it's not worth it for my brain to explode on here, but that's the way it was. So if any of you listeners out there or watchers, if you had problems with word problems, let us know, because I don't think it was just Shona and I think it was a lot of people had problems with the word problem, but we made it through it. And I think one of the reasons for it was to teach us how to critically think. And we talk about that now, how that's kind of missing because you got all these platforms that and AI that students
Yeah.
can go on, and sometimes it gives them the answer without giving them the opportunity to critically think something out. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's what math word problems did for us. Diagramming sentences, you know, I think that used to be a task, and that could take up a whole paper trying to diagram a sentence. Trying
Let
to
me
figure
tell
out
you
what
something.
was related to what. You know.
I always aspired to be an English teacher when I grew up until I reached the seventh grade, when we started diagramming sentences and doing all of this crazy stuff, which to me had so little to do with English per se. I kind of became disinterested so much in being an English teacher. Uh, Maybe I would have been a teacher, but fast forward, I dropped the thoughts of being a teacher, period, because the kids are so different than when we grew up.
Yeah, well, teaching and learning is different. It's a lot more complex, and they're teaching towards the chess. So it's just a change in the teaching environment that we had to go through what we had to go through. But some days it was tough. So I just thought that was interesting. I hadn't thought about that in a while, and I was so glad. For one thing, when summer came and we didn't have to deal with it, but I would still go to summer school. But I wasn't taking math. Oh, I did take algebra one time. The only My whole 12 years of education, I only failed one class, and that was the algebra at IC Northam. We had a teacher there called Mr. Healy. I don't know if you remember him.
That's where I got the A and the F, with Mr.
Oh, oh,
Healy.
oh, you were one of the two students that passed
The
that class,
truth.
because I think half the students failed that class, and he would come in there. And I remember, never forget him. The first day he told us, or one day he told us, he didn't want to be there because that's when they were sort of sending our best teachers to the white schools and sending some of the white teachers to our schools. So they didn't have a choice. Next thing you know, this old time teacher is at Norcom teaching teaching us, and he didn't appreciate it. I think the guest is coming on now, but I'll get into that a little later. And let me.
Well, who
There
do we
she
have
is.
here? Well, hello. How are
Hello.
you? You guys, let me introduce you to my guest tonight. Her name is Miss Brittany Dixon. How are you, Brittany? Can you hear me?
My signal that's not good, or is it?
Oh,
Can you
okay,
hear
now if you're having problem with your signal right
me?
away, I don't know if you can hear me or Shona, you might have to message her. You know how we had to do before. She might have to go to the phone,
Can you hear us now? Okay, I'm going to message her.
message her to go to the phone. And while you're doing that, I'm gonna play an audio.
Okay.
Hopefully, and let me know if you can hear it. Uh,
Awareness Month is very important because it helps
Yes.
everyone understand the risk of the disease. I'm Jackson Burleson, and I spoke to a doctor here at the Hendrick Cancer Center about men's breast cancer and also how to catch it early.
Breast cancer is usually thought of as a disease for females, but although male breast cancer is rare, but it's actually real and it does happen. Men make about 1% of all breast cancer patients, so which means that
Mm.
for every 100 breast cancer cases that you see, one will be a male. And the thing is that because it's uncommon, it usually goes unrecognized, and in the long run, the diagnosis a lot of the time is a little bit late.
If you are a man and you don't know if you have breast cancer, what are some symptoms to look for to catch it early?
Any changes around the chest area or the breast in males, but typically feeling a lump or a swelling in the breast area or the chest area is one thing that we need to take very prompt action on. Sometimes there can be skin changes, redness, or maybe you can also have nipple discharge, particularly if it is a bloody nipple discharge. That is also concerning.
If detected early, the survival rate exceeds 90%. Beyond the symptoms, there are other risk factors to watch for.
Also, older age increases the risk. Overweight or obesity also increases the risk as well. There are a few other conditions that in men that have increased risk of estrogens, like men with a history of liver disease, which typically increases the amount of estrogen in the body, which may increase the risk of developing breast cancer in a male.
Another risk to be aware of is a history of breast cancer in your family, so it is important to check with your doctor on this as well. For more information about men's breast cancer, you can visit our website at ktxs.com.
Wow.
okay, yeah, and we had talked about men can get breast cancer, so I thought I'd just play that and let you know that men can get that. And let you know. Hold on. Let me. I think we're getting some feedback.
Yes.
She might want to turn one of her. Has she switched to the phone? Oh, okay. I see. I see. She's got another.
So are you on both your computer and the phone, Brittany?
I tried to shut the computer down. Am I shut down? Oh yeah, clearly.
Yeah.
Can you
Okay. I can remove it.
perfect.
Remove.
Okay.
Okay.
So
And
I have 2 points to make. One, it sounds like it's very the symptoms for men are very similar to the same symptoms for women from what you just shared with us, James.
yeah, I didn't realize that, and remember
Me either.
last last week I remember the only thing I wondered, the way they do the mammograms.
Yes.
I don't think they do it the same way for the men, do you
I
think?
don't think so either because it would be pretty difficult. Maybe
That
we need to
those
get
guys that work
some
out to have the
feedback
big
on that
chest that might,
issue. Really?
but anyway, I just wanted to give that
Okay.
information, and we'll
We
follow up
certainly appreciate that.
with some
I'm
more
going to see if I
information.
can get an answer to that question about the difference in how mammograms are done for men as opposed to women.
Yeah,
Um,
the doctor, one of the points he made, that usually when men find out, it's in a later stage because we don't normally just check,
yes,
and it's not always as visible or something going on. And by
yeah,
the time we find out, it's in, a pretty high stage. And, we just need to be aware, especially if it's in your history, on either side of your family. It's something you need to
okay.
check into. And men, he said also, generally, we don't always go to the doctor, you know.
That is
So,
very true.
that's another thing. We just need to keep on our appointments. But as part of our examinations, we should make sure we check our breasts as well. You know.
Okay, so
Okay.
we have
One,
this
one thing for
beautiful.
our guests,
Go
if he
ahead.
can, you think you might be able to turn your phone landscape? Okay, that's okay. Keep it like it is. Okay,
Here we
that's
go.
better.
Look
That's
at
better.
you. Aren't you pretty,
Look,
Miss Brittany?
I'm working it out.
Okay, so we have with us, guys, Miss Brittany Dixon, and she is here to share her breast cancer journey with us. And we are so appreciative of you for being here. Welcome, Brittany. How are you
Thank
feeling
you.
today?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Thank you for having me. I've never done a live podcast, but here we are. I appreciate you all giving me the opportunity to tell my story. So again, thank you.
We're family here, Brittany. Just relax.
Yes.
Just relax.
Yes, we're
Yes.
live, so watch your language.
So
Okay.
first of all, do you
Just
mind
joking.
sharing with us your age?
I'm 37.
Boy, that was a good year. Woo.
Yep, 37. I turned
That's
37
a
in
good
July.
age. Okay. Um,
Yes.
so you have had a breast cancer journey and quite a breast cancer journey.
I
Tell us about how you first found out.
um I first found out back in 2019. It was a casual, nothing special. I think I just kind of was laying across the bed watching TV, and my hand placed like laid somewhere that kind of was a little bit like, "Huh, what's that?" And I really didn't do much about it. Maybe a couple months later, my OBGYN at that appointment, I mentioned it. Still didn't think much of it.
Mhm.
And from there, he recommended that I get a mammogram.
Wow.
Well,
Okay.
Shona, I just had to point out something, and it's something we brought up last week about the suggestion. It's you know said that you should do a mammogram 40 and older, and
Yeah,
she's 37, and
she
we
is
we
30.
mentioned about you know it, you need to start checking a little earlier.
You should
It,
check as soon as you're grown, I think.
right?
Even when
Because
I had the lump removed from my breast, I was in my upper 30s. I wasn't
yeah,
40 yet.
because it wasn't on your mind, was it? Being 37. I guess you've heard, after
Oh no,
40.
no, no.
And
Did you hear the year she just said? She wasn't 37.
I was
Oh, I thought she
diagnosed
said.
the first time at
She
30.
is 37 now. Did you hear her say what year this was?
So
How
my
old were you,
first time,
Brittany?
yeah, I was diagnosed the first time in 2019. So I was 30
Yeah. Okay.
when I
Yeah.
was first diagnosed. Yeah.
That was the point I was making. I think we're on the same page. But go ahead.
Yeah,
I won't interrupt anymore.
the doctor even said, my breast cancer doctor, Misty Wilson, who was my breast cancer doctor at the time, she even said, I'm getting more ladies, in their 30s coming in. I don't know what it's all about, but
Mhm.
that was something coming from a breast cancer doctor herself. So it is something that is, I don't know who changes that, but we should definitely get checked before 40, because I don't know that I would be here to tell my story had I not.
Wow. So once
How
you went for the mammogram, then what happened next?
So I'm at the mammogram, and still kind of not. I'm not thinking about cancer. I wasn't thinking of that. I started to think something was a little different when I was waiting a little bit longer. So the mammogram happened, and then they said that they would need to do a biopsy, and that's when I realized that it was a bit more serious. Went for the biopsy, and
you're good. You're good. Don't
oh,
worry
I was
about
like, where did they go? Um, Went for the biopsy, and that's when we learned that's what I had going on. That what they found was cancerous. Yeah.
My goodness.
So
And
I want to know
how
how
did you
was that for you psychologically?
exactly? That's what I was
Being
going
so
to ask.
young
How
and
did you feel? I
being
mean,
one of those things not even on your mind.
could
Other
could you
things might have
could
been
you
on your
even
mind, but not
process
breast
it?
cancer. Yeah.
Um, I will be honest with you. I immediately made the decision to not let the disease take over my mental, because I felt like when it took over, if it took over my mental, then it had my entire body. So
Mm.
I was very much so, like if I told anybody what I was going through and they were like, oh, no, I didn't want
Right.
to hear it, because I just made the decision that I didn't know. I mean, of course, that initial news was a bit like I was taken aback by it. I was emotional by it, but I think as I processed what was happening in that moment in my life, I made that decision. Now, don't get me wrong. There were days when I would let out a cry, and then I would let that cry out, and I would keep going. I
You
I
go,
just
girl.
I just couldn't let the disease take over my mental. I didn't think it deserved that. So that's how I processed it. Um, and after the diagnosis, I didn't waste much time. Like I had surgery shortly after.
Okay.
And at that time, I was actually living in a whole different state. I was living in New Jersey, and all my doctors were here in Virginia. So I was traveling back and forth, had the surgery, and coming up to it, I had some other spots in my breast, and they wanted to check those out.
Okay.
That is what made me determine whether I was going to have a lumpectomy by just removing the lump, or
Yeah.
a full or a single mastectomy.
Okay.
Um, and I went on a lot of my gut. A lot of it was my gut telling me what I should do in this season of my life. And my gut told me to get the full mastectomy,
Okay.
because I just wasn't trying to play around. Now, I didn't get a double. I chose not to get a double. And I will say my mother. My mother was like, "Why are you only getting? Why are you just getting one?" Like, because we didn't, it didn't run in my family. This was like, where is this coming from? Why would we? And again, I went with my gut, and that might not have been the right. Like, I would say it's not the right choice, because the other side is still good. I haven't
Okay.
had anything return on the other side, but if I'm totally honest and transparent, it was a lot of prayer, And God, what do I do? And God said, do the single mastectomy, and that's what I did.
Okay. Okay.
Shona, I have to ask this question because you're about the third survivor we've had on here that uh, either chose a vasectomy. No, it's what I say, vasectomy. See what my mind is. I'm a man, and that scares me. But anyway, but you chose must say it for me, mastectomy. But anyway, but you're the third survivor to admit that, and it makes me think that the percentage is pretty high of ladies or choosing that or having been told to do that, and we in society, in most cases, would never know unless you let us know. So it's a
Yeah.
lot of survivors walking around, and that's the choice. And and we talked about last time how the breasts are important to women, their womanhood, even though it's there for another purpose. But it's a part of you. So you talked about you were strong mentally. How was you said you went with your gut feeling, but that's something that you really have to dig deep down in your gut
It's major.
because
Oh yeah.
that's a major thing. Not only, even though it will save your life, but you're talking about. I mean, did it threaten your womanhood in any kind of way? I mean, I'm just
Um,
trying to figure out your mindset as far as that,
I
and
think
especially
you
since there's been three women up here that had the same choice.
Mhm.
I think you know like you see the
Ooh,
Oh no.
think that there's insecurity for sure. Um,
Okay.
that you're insecure about what you see. It's just you got to find the beauty in the scars.
Yeah.
So I feel like, um, sure, you know, like let's be real transparent. I was married then, and
Okay.
not married now. But as you're meeting someone new, you got to tell the story, and then you got to wonder if that person is going to look at you any differently than they would look at a woman that had two beautiful breasts in there. Like so, it is something you live with and you think about, and like I said, I just try to be bigger than the the disease. I just really try to I don't know, maybe I harbor, maybe I just kind of hide, or I try to, but while yes I am insecure, yes I have scars, I just can't let it take anything from me as a woman.
You go, girl.
yeah, and
Can
we
we get you
lost
to come out
we
of the
lost
dark?
your picture.
You can't see me.
No.
We can
Oh,
hear you. Fortunately, we can hear you, but
Exactly.
I don't know if your
I
camera went off.
I don't
Can we
know.
get you to come out of the dark?
I know. Let me see. Hold on. Um, I
What
can see.
changed?
That's the weird thing. You want me to go out and come back in?
That's fine.
Look, I don't even
Yeah,
know how to
if
go out.
that might work.
Can you take me? Will you take me out? Look, because clearly I didn't know how to go out last time. Remove me and then I'll come back in.
Yeah.
So while we're waiting on Brittany to come back in, um, I would like to take this time to give a shout out to someone.
Hmm.
One of my coworkers, he was telling me, he gave me some really good feedback on our show, James.
Hmm.
I think I shared that with you.
Yeah.
And he was telling me about his niece who lives in Virginia Beach, who is going through a breast cancer journey. I don't know how old she is, but I got the feeling she was pretty young, so I told him I would give her a shout out. Her name is Shakisa Hyman. They call her Kisa. Kisa,
Mhm.
hello from our take on it. You have our thoughts and our prayers. Take all of this with you wherever you go, Shakisa. You can do this. You can fight this. You can beat this. Right, Brittany?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes,
Yep.
Listen,
indeed.
listen to Brittany.
Yep. Yep. So
I,
yeah.
I want to mention something as a man. I think some women, as they have to go through those operations, they be thinking about how they feel about themselves, and then they think about how a man might feel, you know, with you missing those. And most men, even though it's, I don't know how to say it, but it might be a source of pleasure for
Mhm,
men, but it's
mhm.
not the most important thing for a man. And
Certainly not
I,
for a
I,
mature man.
yeah, I think most men will feel that way. They would rather have the whole you, I mean, not the whole you, but you as a
Yeah.
person,
Yeah.
if that decision has to be made. And I think that probably slips in the mind of some women that might not make that choice, because what would he think? Will he leave me? You know,
Yeah.
well, if he does, it wasn't meant to
Right.
be in the first place.
No, I agree.
So I just had to say that, and most men are going to feel that way. So uh,
So you
if
had a
that
good,
slips into your mind, ladies,
yeah.
just do what's best
So
for
you had
you
a good support
health wise.
system, Brittany.
I did. I did, and I still do.
That's important.
My entire family, my friends, um, everyone, like near and far. And then there's this beautiful breast cancer community, of survivors, and I'm a two-time survivor. So my second bout, like I found,
Ooh, number two.
yeah,
Okay, let's
I
go.
found solace in actually, there were two women, my cousin LaDonna and this young lady named Kayomi, who really walked, like, they would check in on chemo days.
Oh,
Am I
Mhm.
gone again? Oh,
yes.
they would check in on chemo days, and just things like that, which made me in turn give the same support to another young lady who was going through it after me. So there's this beautiful
Yeah.
family in the breast cancer community, and of course, my blood family and my friends were from day one and still to this day support.
So you got positive support, so you're paying it forward.
I can't hear you.
So you got positive support, so you're paying it forward.
I don't think she can hear us.
Okay.
I might have to
No,
remove her
can
and
you hear me?
let her.
Yes, I can hear you. Can you
We
hear
can hear
us?
you.
But we can't see you.
We are having a time, aren't we, with this media? Hold
Yeah, and
on.
sometimes, and where are you located? Sometimes the Wi-Fi or the connection is
In the Richmond area, I believe.
the the wind might be blowing, or
Hmm.
something. But we can hear you if
Okay, Brittany, you want to go out and back in?
I can't
I'm
hear.
I'm gonna do that, and maybe she'll notice.
Yes.
Okay, I hope she'll pick up on that, because she has a story to tell. And while we're here, let me give a shout out to my brother Ron Get Rich. He's on here, and he
Hi,
he's
Ron.
dealing he's dealing with uh, I don't guess he'll mind me saying it. He's already said it, but he's dealing with his own health issues there, and
Okay.
we want to certainly recognize him. But anyway, thanks for watching, Ron. We'll talk to you soon. But
Okay, so um, for Ron, your brother, take some love from our take on it. Okay.
Yeah. Said he was getting some feedback there, but I think now. Can you hear us now, Britt?
She looks frozen. Brittany, are you on your phone? Are you on your phone or the computer?
I think we might have to, if she
Wow.
goes back on her phone,
Yeah.
we might have to, if we can get the audio, we might have to
Go with that.
go with that.
Yes.
But it looks like she's coming in again on something else.
Okay.
Now.
We certainly
Okay,
apologize for the technical difficulties, guys.
that's
Okay. That was a brief appearance.
that was a brief appearance. That's what happens when you go live. Let me add her to the stage. Okay, there she is.
All right. Beautiful.
The devil be working.
Oh yeah, yeah. You know he never
That
sleeps.
is so true.
He's
He
working
never
tonight.
sleeps. He doesn't want us to get this information out.
The
But
devil be working. That
The
but
is
you
so
devil
know
be
true.
working.
he and
Yeah.
somebody
So
else I know are big
Okay,
liars.
so you have mentioned that you had surgery and
yes,
you had you had the whole breast removed, right?
I had the whole breast removed. I got a
Okay.
silicone implant.
Okay.
I that was 2019 diagnosed, 2020 at my surgery. Boom, COVID hits. Fast forward to 2020.
Oh.
All right. 2023. And I'm 8 months pregnant,
Oh my
and I
goodness. 8
feel
months pregnant.
8 months pregnant. We're in May of 23, and I went for a checkup. And when I first had my breast done, like the first time I had the mastectomy, they also removed some lymph nodes. So in that
Mm.
area under the scar, I felt something. And I just told my breast cancer, like, hey, this is what I'm feeling. She biopsied it on site. And I'm not gonna lie, the way these days, the way that information comes back to you with all the portals and the my chart, I just happened to be at work, and you have a new message in your chart. I opened it up and I'm reading it, and I'm like, what? Is this what it's saying? Is this what it's saying? What I think it's saying?
So that's how they give you news nowadays?
How they give you news.
Oh
They
my
go
goodness.
and they put in the results of your test online, and then you'll get an email. And
That's
I had a
horrible.
it was horrible. I had a really good relationship with my breast cancer doctor, and I screenshot it. I sent it to personal text at the time. I was like, "Is this saying what I think it's saying?" And she was like, "Oh my gosh, yes." I was like, she was hoping that information was going to come
Mm.
before the work day was over.
Wow.
But nonetheless, there we were, 8 months pregnant, and
Mm.
I think I want to say round two, I was a bit more prepared. I wasn't prepared to necessarily tackle it with a baby inside, but mentally, like, I was like, all right, okay. And I had this thing now, like, okay, God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers. So, Lord, if this
Yes,
is the
he
battle to
does.
fight right now, let's fight, okay?
You go
And
girl.
I started chemo. I did 4 infusions with my baby inside. And someone may ask, why? That was a ton of prayer, because I didn't know whether or not I literally had to trust the doctors. I was told that certain things can't get through the placenta to the child.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it was prayer and trusting the doctor's words. So I you can't see me.
No, but
We
keep
can hear
talking.
you perfectly. There
There
you
you're
are.
Okay,
back. There you're back.
I'm
Uh
back.
oh. And you're gone. Now you're back.
Okay. So it was prayer, and I did the first 4 infusions with my baby from the inside, delivered her, and after I had the baby, I just knew I could take on the world at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So I finished up, lost my hair at the end. I actually did this for Black women. I don't know if anybody has heard of it. It's called cold capping. So when I went through it the second time, well, when I went through it the first time, I didn't have to do chemo or radiation.
Wow.
So I maybe should have done some radiation. Maybe I always kind of felt like I should have done a little radiation to kill cells at the site of the disease, but I did not. I wasn't prescribed.
Do you feel that that could have been why it reoccurred?
Possibly.
Okay.
And I will say, to be transparent, I declined the pill that was I was told to take. It was a tamoxifen that I was prescribed for the next 5 years, and I declined that because I wanted children. I wanted to have a baby, and I was told like you couldn't conceive while on the pill, but when you're ready, get off the pill for 6 months. And in my mind, I was like, well, if that's gonna be in my system, I didn't want to conceive with it in my system at all. So
Okay.
it could have been I didn't choose post treatment. It could have been that there was no radiation. I'll never know.
That's right.
Round 2, I did have to do chemo and radiation.
Okay.
Um,
And your baby was fine?
Baby was born healthy and fine and beautiful. And none of the effects, not, I could say like it didn't, like I was like wondering how her hair was going to grow and all these different things, head full of hair. I would say the doctors got that one right. So I know they wanted to be aggressive because it was a reoccurrence. That's why they encouraged me to start the chemo while pregnant, simply because it was a reoccurrence.
Yes.
And after radiation and chemo, I stand here today. I wrapped up radiation in, gosh, I want to say January 24. I could be
Wow.
wrong, but January 24, I believe. And yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
So let me ask you. So what is cold capping?
Cold capping is it is a cap that I would wear on my head during my chemo sessions. So I would wet my hair and I would put a conditioner in it. I don't know why, but this is what's recommended. I put the conditioner in it and I would put this cap on. It was free through my insurance. And I would wear it would drop to like below 30 degrees. And I would wear that 30 minutes prior to my treatment beginning. And I would have to stay 30 minutes longer after treatment. And I would wear that cold cap head after the first 30 minutes, though, you're used to it. You're numb. Your head is numb. And that is to protect your hair follicles. So I kept my hair up until, and I had 12 infusions. I kept my hair up until the second to last. And I think that's because my last, what we call them, cocktails. So you have different cocktails, which is like different type of chemo treatments. I had 2 different cocktails. And my first one I went through. And then when I hit my second cocktail, it was a bit more harsher, I would say.
Intense.
Yep. And that took my hair out after the second one. But the way my hair has grown back makes me wonder, was the cold capping worth it? Because it's grown back thicker than it was before I lost it.
Look at God.
Look at God. Yeah. So I think the second time I was just more prepared mentally, and then once I had my baby, I knew it was gonna be okay. I knew I was good. My family is, again, still super supportive, and I just had that same mentality. I did not want the disease to have my mind. And I think that would be the best advice. The best advice I could give someone in the fight or someone who just found out. Like
Okay.
it's hard, easier said than done probably, but don't let it take over your mental. Go in knowing early detection we know is key. Go in knowing that you got this and everything's going to be okay. There're going to be some hard days, but everything's going to be okay. And I can am a living witness that on the other side it is so much better.
Do you hear that, Kisa in Virginia Beach? That was straight from Brittany.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you know what's amazing, Shona? You know, we probably could have 25 survivors up here, and each one of them would have a different type of treat, a
Oh
different
yeah.
type of, a different way of dealing with. You know, it's an individual thing, and I'm
That's
really amazed that being pregnant 8 months, you know, and
that's
thinking I would
amazing.
be thinking, can I go another month and have this baby? You know, before you start the
That tells you how
infusions.
crucial it was for her to get treatment
Right.
immediately.
But what that shows you how, you know, we're talking about God and faith. It shows you how amazing the body is and how protective, you
Yeah.
know, a woman's body is of a baby before it's born.
Yeah.
Yes,
Making sure, because we've heard all kinds of stories of babies,
that's
you know,
right.
being protected through all types of situations,
Yep.
and that's just God's will there. You know.
Wow.
Tell us about your faith and how strong your faith was. It sounds like you already were a strong, faithful person
Believer.
before this ordeal. So it was just a matter of you know, calling on that faith and
Yeah.
making sure that you maintain that throughout
Yeah.
this ordeal as well.
I think that's the only thing that got me that thing. And I don't know if you guys am I on? Can you see me on camera?
No,
We can't
ma'am.
see you, but we can hear you. So keep
But that's what
talking till
happens.
we
It
see
blacks
you
out for
again.
me and then I lose y'all value the voice.
Hmm,
Yeah,
that's
but
it.
oh,
We haven't experienced that before.
I think she's trying to come back.
Are you there, Brittany?
I see what she's doing. She's working on it. But isn't that amazing, Shona? You know, just like I
Her
mentioned, we could.
story is just it blew my mind when I found out she had been through it twice and she's not even 40 yet. And
Yes,
while being pregnant with a child, that is amazing.
yeah,
It
and
goes to
it's
show you how far medical technology
yeah, and it also shows you how how important research is because it's only through research that they are probably lowering lowering the age where they suggest people get the mammograms or start paying attention to the possibility of having breast cancer. You know, it was,
I think
I
it's
think at
really
one time it was 50 and over, and then it went down to
yeah.
40. And, you know, she was 30, you know, so what can you say?
I also think it's interesting that more and more you're seeing people who have it who have absolutely no history in their family of it.
Right. I think we talked about that too. You know, the
Yes, we did.
environment, things are a
The
lot different now,
environment,
but
yes,
I
I'm
think it's
sure.
always been something that's been present, but it hadn't always been over the years early on something that they detected as breast cancer. You remember how we talked about people, you know, they might expire and nobody knew why, you know. So I think
Well,
the
the
technology,
the environment is certainly different now.
yes,
The air that
indeed.
we breathe is different. The food that we eat is different because a lot is processed and we're just subjected to a lot of carcinogens that we weren't didn't exist, you know, 50 years ago.
Right.
So glad
And
to have you back, Brittany.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You asked about my faith, and
Mhm.
I'm sorry for, I don't know if it's my connect. I don't know what's happening, but I'm sorry.
That's okay.
No worries.
We make a
Yeah,
way.
you
We
asked
got
about
you now.
my faith. Yeah, I'm a praying woman, and I believe in the power of prayer. I believe that throughout all of this, I kind of felt like what I went through, and I used to be a very quiet survivor. I used to be like, I didn't want to give the disease any attention outside of what I had to talk about when I went to the doctors. And I think as I have,
Is she gone now?
Well, she's working on coming back, and
Okay.
let me
Um,
go over here. Let me go somewhere else.
okay,
Am I back?
not yet.
not yet.
We
We
can hear
can hear you. I don't know if you can hear us.
I can hear you.
Okay. Well, if you can hear us, go ahead and talk while if you can, talk while you're
Yes.
working on what you're doing.
So I just felt like what was I saying?
about your faith.
Yes, I just used to. I was a quiet survivor, and I did not want to give the disease any attention outside of the doctor's appointments. I just would, like, I would, like, October would come around, and I might post a little something, and the second go round made me feel like, hey, look, somebody else might go through this. Somebody else may be going through this, and I should be a little bit louder. Like, what got me through? Like, whatever got me through, and on this side, I should talk about it. And
Right.
this is what has me more comfortable sharing on a podcast like so, because I feel like either my story could inspire or my story could help the next young lady who's 8 months pregnant go through and get through the journey.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. No,
I think now
definitely.
would be a good time, Miss Brittany. You get the bell. We giving you
Oh,
give it up for
yeah.
you, Brittany. Our
Thank you.
hero for today.
Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you.
You
Thank you.
have done an amazing job. There's no way we would be able to tell that you've never shared your journey on a podcast or publicly before because you did a beautiful job.
Thank you.
Aside from the technical difficulties, because right now you're a black screen. Okay,
And I don't know why. Look, I keep turning my camera on and off to get back, but that's okay because
it's
That's
okay.
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 Like
The
you said,
words that are
never
coming
be
out your mouth are
working.
so important.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank y'all for
Yeah.
having me. Thank y'all for
Yeah.
wanting to hear the stories from myself and any other survivors that have been on. I
Absolutely.
appreciate
And at some point, we may ask you to come back for an update,
it.
if
Okay.
that's okay. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
We
And it
leave
Sure.
doesn't
that
have
door open. Okay.
some
Yeah,
other time other than breast cancer month, because you never know who you might reach during
I
those times where it's not a focus on it, and
definitely,
sometimes you might have to come back in May and just bring it up, you might
definitely.
get somebody.
I don't know if you know this, Brittany, but we're a brand new show. Our YouTube channel was just created by our host, Mr. James Overton, earlier this very same month in
Okay.
October. Um, so that having been said, at this time, I'd like to read some feedback that I got from one of our listeners.
Okay. Yes.
Can
Okay,
we do that, James?
let's hear it. Yeah.
Awesome. This was from actually one of my coworkers. His name is Terrence Fitzpatrick. And hello, Terrence, if you're on. I hope so. But at any rate, we were we were reaching out to one another, and I asked him how he was doing. And he said, I'm doing great. I didn't have a chance to listen to the podcast last night, but I just finished the entire 1 hour and 25 minutes, and it was very interesting. I heard Valika and Renee, which we had last week. I heard Valika and Renee give both of their testimonies, and I truly enjoyed hearing both of their stories about their breast cancer journeys too. I did like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and I'm going to share it with a few people, especially my niece in Virginia Beach, who's going through chemo right now, and she has a great support system. I feel that her listening to the podcast will also help her get through what she's dealing with. Thank you for inviting me to listen in, and I really enjoyed it. Terrence, you get the bell.
Yeah, well, thanks a
Yes,
lot for that.
thank you. Yes.
And I'd like to ask our guests too. What are the follow up plans or procedures for someone who's had breast cancer? I know it's something I know as a heart transplant patient. My thing is every 3 months for the rest of my life, I have to go back and make sure this new heart is doing what it's supposed to do, and that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do to make sure I don't mess this one
Better.
up. But so what is the follow up that you have to go through?
Okay.
And while we are waiting for her, I just want to give this public service announcement. We talked about the research that goes on in medicine, you know, and I'll say elections have consequences. Who you vote for, because you can see now a lot of cuts are being done in by way of the medical field. You have a lot of doubters of certain scientific facts
Mm-hmm.
that are out there that are in control. So
Yes.
we must make sure you pay attention who you vote for and know that they
Yes.
have your interests in mind,
That's right.
because these studies and everything that they do, a lot of it is provided by through the government. We need it. We don't need them trying to save money at the expense of people's lives just so
Yeah.
they can add a ballroom to the White House. So
Yes.
make sure you pay attention. I had to throw that in. This is not a political show, but because
Yes.
it will be at
It's
some point.
very
I mean,
important. It's a very important
we
point
will
that you
bring up
made.
some political
Also, while we
topics
wait,
from time to time.
that's right. While we wait, I'm throwing in another shameless plug for Chris Gaylord, her breast cancer T-shirts. I'm still rocking them. Um, I'm sure she won't mind putting her information in the comments if you would like to procure one of her breast cancer T-shirts that she has created, and part of her proceeds do go towards breast cancer research. Um, okay, and also with Miss Brittany, not back on yet.
I
Hi,
think she
Brittany. I just gave a shameless plug
Hi.
for one of our um, listeners of the show. And I'd like you to go ahead and hit yours. Ooh, okay. I know that you do have a a business also. Is that right? Okay. And we'll hear more about follow up after the breast cancer journey too.
Yeah, hopefully she can come back on and she can talk about her business that she has as well. And you talked about the T-shirt business, and I think
Yes.
that's something that you don't have to just support and buy the shirts and wear them just for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. You can wear it all year so people can know, uh, be reminded,
That's a really
what they
good
have to do.
point, James.
Yeah.
Also, I'd like to bring up the point that this is not only Breast Cancer Awareness Month, it is also Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And we have focused on breast cancer so far during our month of October, but our next podcast will be more focused on domestic violence awareness. And we will have a special guest, a professional to that end. I think James can tell you more about our guest, or would you like to wait until next week to
Yeah,
introduce her?
I'll tell you a little bit about her, and she has been on other platforms before. She's a professor of psychology at Norfolk State University, a former clinician in psychology. Name is Dr. Ernestine Duncan, and she's going to be on with us doing our last show of the month,
Yes.
where we're going to focus on domestic violence. And we have someone who is a co-host that has been through that. And it might be another guest that we might add before then, but stay tuned for that next Tuesday at
Okay.
7 or 7:30. Just watch for the announcement. And let me bring
I
her
guess
back
it's
on
time for an
stage.
update then, huh?
Yeah, and so make sure you watch that show. We're gonna have
Yes.
you know some very good information, and Dr. Duncan is a great source of information in how to deal with that situation and what you should do. By her being a clinician and a professor at Norfolk State University. Dr.
Shona Swinson can tell you how to deal with that situation too.
Duncan. That's who I was talking about. Yeah, make sure you go back and watch that interview that Shona and I had on her experience with domestic violence, and I'm
Yes.
still very proud of that particular show
Thank you,
and of
James.
Shona and how she, you know, talked about something that was very personal that happened a long time ago, but it's something that doesn't leave your consciousness. You
No,
know,
it does not. Thank you for
I
that,
think it's
James.
just something you have to live with the rest of your life. But talking about it and knowing that you are helping other people is therapeutic, and just knowing that you're helping somebody else maybe not even go in that situation. And I see where Missy Elliott, uh, hometown girl and international star, national star, uh, came to town. The Missy Elliott Day here in the city, in the Hampton Roads area.
I
She's
wish
from
I could
Portsmouth.
have been there.
Yeah, and
You
they
know,
named the
it,
street after her, but she came down and
I
gave
know. I saw Missy
$35,000.
Elliott Boulevard in Portsmouth, Virginia.
Yes, yes, right
Wow.
near the
The
right near the
casino.
casino.
Yeah.
But she came down over the weekend and gave $35,000 to the Her Shelter. So, so
Yes.
you can't say that she doesn't give
Yes.
back, and she's
Yes.
giving back to her alma mater,
I'm so
Wilson
happy to hear that
Manor.
because I have been hearing some negative comments about all of the attention she had been getting, and people that I was talking to were saying she's never really done anything for,
Not
you
true.
know.
It's
Okay.
not always
I'm so
publicized.
happy to hear that.
It's
I'm
not
so
always
happy to hear that.
publicized, but she's been giving back ever since she has
Made it
gone
big.
on to stardom, made it
That's
big.
really good to know.
She has not forgotten
Wow.
where she's come from.
So she earned that street title, huh?
And yes, she did, indeed.
Awesome.
Yeah. She
Hi,
just
Brittany.
she just went to the wrong
Hi.
high school.
So tell us about follow up. What happens now?
Follow up. I am currently on I get a 12-week shot. It's a Lupron shot for the next 12 weeks. What that shot does is it sends me into menopause because my daily pill that I have to take for the next 5 years is best receptive to someone in menopause. So that is the next 5 years. If I can afford it, because it's quite, insurance
Right.
covers what it does, and insurance doesn't cover what it doesn't. So it is quite expensive, but that is the doctor's orders for the next 5 years.
So
So
that does that mean you will not be able to bear children for that time, or you will never be able to have more children?
I can't hear you.
Does that mean that you will not be able to bear children during that 5 year time span of time, or that you will never be able to bear more children?
evidently she still can't.
Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
She,
Are you able to hear us?
okay,
Okay.
what we'll do is hopefully we'll get her back one more time because we want her
Yeah, that would be
to
great.
tell about her business if she can get it in before we
Yeah.
lose her again, and talk about her business.
Yes, because we are
And
definitely past
we'll
time.
definitely
It went
have
so
her
quickly.
back and make sure maybe we'll catch one of those times where the connections, even with all the advancements we have made, Wi-Fi still can be a challenge. You know,
Yes, it can.
some people we bring on and the show goes flawless, and then some people we bring on even though they have a strong connection, things happen. So, but you have to give it to her. She's been working the whole show
Yes, she has.
to try to get it in when she could fit in.
Bless her heart. Well, we'll have to let her know that our time is up. Perhaps we can have her back on for a little bit.
Yeah, we're gonna have to sort of sign off, and first of all, we want to thank you all for watching, and hopefully you got some information that might help you, or it might help someone you know, and someone you know that's going through it. Refer to our videos. Our last, this will be the third video that we made on breast cancer. So survivors. And so refer them to the video so they can watch and maybe get some inspiration. You
Yeah.
know, it's not an easy thing to go through, especially I think we've had two people. The way they found out was very unconventional. You know, you'd rather be sitting in the doctor's office to be told that so you can answer the question, but to get a text message or to be told over the
It's
phone,
so
that
tacky.
yeah, that's not the way to do it. But
Hmm,
you know, with technology comes imperfection sometimes. So with
that is
AI, you might be getting AI calling you up, blah, 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 talking like a robot,
guess
giving you
what?
your blood test results.
Wow. Wow. I guess it's
But
not out of the realm of possibility.
no, but
It's a new world
hopefully,
for sure.
hopefully you can get a doctor and form a
Yes.
relationship with them that they'll take that under
That
consideration. And
can
how
never be replaced.
no,
Never.
I think we have her back, and if we have her back, Brittany,
Ah,
if we have you back for a little while before you we lose you again, and we get
yes.
ready to sign off, but tell us quickly about your business, your candle business,
Yes.
and
Yes, yes,
how
yes,
people
yes.
can. Mhm.
Candlesbyrain.com. I like it's been a year in November. It'll be a year in November that I woke up one day and I said I love candles. So I YouTubed it and I started a candle business. I make natural soy wax candles for my kitchen. It's Candles by Rain, named after my daughter Monroe Rain,
Mm.
and we
Nice.
I'm just trying to build a legacy over here. So visit our website, candlesbyrain.com. On Instagram, we're at Candles by Rain, and check us out. Put your holiday orders in. But yes, thank you so much for that shout out.
Yeah, yes,
I've already signed up to all of that.
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Get them in now
Thank you.
because those they come in
Yes,
handy,
and
especially
before
during
I
the
lose you
holidays.
Christmas
guys,
presents.
yes,
Yeah.
Christmas presents, and that's what
Yeah.
was such big when I started this last year. It was perfect timing. Perfect
Mhm.
timing because it was the right time of the year, the holidays. So I'm excited to be a year in and just elevate to the next level.
You go, girl. I'm
Yes.
so proud of you. Okay.
Well, we got that
Can
in.
y'all hear me?
Yeah.
So thanks a
We'll
lot,
have you back
Brittany.
at some point in time.
Thank y'all for having me. I'm so sorry for all the technical difficulties.
That's
No
quite all
worries.
right.
We're very happy
I
to have
think the
you.
message was passed on, passed on to
Yes, thank you.
our
God bless
viewers.
y'all.
God
God bless
bless
you
you
and take
too.
care.
Bye
Take
bye.
this from the show. Take that from. Is that a
Thank you.
heart? I'm
Thank you.
working on it. Yes. Take that with
Thank you.
you wherever you go. Okay.
Thank you. Y'all take care.
Yes.
Bye.
Well,
Bye
bye.
bye.
Wow.
Did you hear
That
that?
was nice. Um, how
Now,
time flies even when you're not having fun.
yeah, I really need that for the unfunny jokes I be telling. So stay tuned. I need that boost.
That
My
really
ego.
went by
Yeah.
quickly, but I am so happy to have been able to hear her story because it is important. You don't have to, it's not just older and middle aged women and men who get breast cancer. So it would behoove you, I don't care what age you are, if you're old enough to start going to a doctor on a regular basis, I feel that should be checked. And don't rely on just information such as what we're sharing. Absolutely, you should do research for yourself, especially on symptoms, what's being done as far as research, how you can
Hmm.
help, um, and what your risks are, what your chances of getting it are, and just take care of yourself. Take care
Yes,
of
and
yourself.
also pay attention when you probably are asked to be a part of a study, especially African American women. If you're asked to be a part of a study, I think it's very important to be a part of it. Because that's where the treatments come from. Studying different people, so they know how to treat different people. Some
And
people
people,
need to be treated differently.
groups of people, yes.
We bleed the same, but it's a lot of things that go into our
That is
makeups, our
so
genetic makeups,
true. That's
that
right.
makes it sometimes uh, we have to be treated differently. I'll put it that way. So if you get an opportunity to be a part of a study, take part in it. So you never know, you might help someone that way.
Yeah.
Okay, Shona, what
Yes.
we come to the end of another show, and what a great opportunity to have the survivors that we've had on. And
Yeah.
thank you, Chris, for suggesting our last guest, and
Yes, you
the
did.
other two that we've had on here, and with your amazing stories, your informative stories. And we really appreciate that, and say God bless you and wish you continued good health throughout
Yes.
your
Continue
life
to
going
help.
forward. You're definitely going to be blessed for sharing your story.
Okay, guys. Hopefully, God
Okay,
willing, we're planning to come back at you next week. Believe it or not, we're on a roll.
we're on a roll.
Yeah, I like it.
Oh, the last one.
We like to have fun. We like to have fun. Okay.
Okay, all right. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you next time on I'll Take On It featuring Slim and Shona.